our pre-run snack, 2 little pieces of sourdough, and banana. Sometimes I don't eat before I run. You should, and I should. Especially today, it's a long run. It's gonna be pretty. I just shoved off my banana. Fuck. Gotta get the feeling dialed. Sometimes that means making yourself eat when you don't want to. And knock this little thing of electrolytes down. And then fueling for during the run today. Is just gonna be one of these honey stingers. I'm gonna have a thing of electrolytes too. But yeah. Since this video is about how to get better at the marathon and improve your times, I would say the first thing is getting your feeling right. You need to train your body to start using some of these in your long runs. That's one of my downfalls currently and always has been. I have GI issues when I run, so I'm doing a lot better. I'm trying to work on this. So that includes stingers on long runs, nutrition before, trying to make myself eat before I run. And honestly, the other thing, you're seeing it right now. I'm up at it's 5:50 right now. Got to be up before the sun. Arizona, super hot. If I start going out at any time after like 9, I'm cooked. Way too hot for a good workout. So you got to wake up, beat the sun, get your feeling right. Those are, the tips I can give you right now. But I'm in a little bit of a rush to get to the track. So I'm going to finish this, pack up the car, and we're going to go. First 6 miles we're almost done. It's just a warm up, and then after that we're going to go pretty much straight into 3 miles at a 6-minute pace, so a little bit below threshold, and then right after that 6-minute 3-mile interval we'll have a half mile in between, then do some more intervals. But this workout we did pretty much exactly a year ago, and the 2 ways you can kind of progress in your marathon plan are intensity and duration. So this time last year we were doing this workout at 40 seconds slower per interval, so 6:40 for the first 3. So we've come quite a long way in the first in this year of training. So yeah, we're gonna finish out this little warm-up and then get into the intervals. That was the first interval. 6 minutes per mile for 3 miles, so it's an uncomfortably comfortable pace for 3 miles. Now we just have a half-mile rest, gonna get some water, and then the important thing here is just to keep the rest how it was designed, so half mile around like an 8:30 pace, and then the next 2 mile tempo is 5:50 to 6, so we're just gonna keep it at 5:50 to 6, not go any faster or slower, and that's that. Well, that one was hard. That was 2 miles right at 5:50. So you can definitely tell that's a lot closer to the threshold pace than the 3 miles at 6 minutes. But
didn't kill me. Still have a half mile cool down, then one lap at 5:40, and then we'll be good. One cool down mile and be out of here. Well, my legs hurt. Finished that mile at 5:37, so workout finished very strong. Now we just have one cool down mile. That'll be a wrap.
I'm out here dying, about to throw up. Pastor Patrick's over there still running. This is my life. It's alright. Happy to be out here.
Alright, that was the end of the workout. So total it was 14 miles, 6-mile warm-up, 3 miles at 6 minutes, 5:59, then 5:58, then a half mile in between, and then 2 miles at 5:50 and then 5:50, and then a half mile in between, and then the last mile was at 5:38. So it was a really good run. My legs were definitely tired during the intervals, but that's pretty much what you're training, is just to run faster on tired legs and let your lactate threshold increase. So it was a very good run. Gonna go get coffee and ship myself and go get Sweetgreen. Just got back from our run. Look what I left. My honey stinger, of course. Talk all this nonsense about nutrition and I forget the very thing that keeps the run alive. But it's okay. I found some extra, and my post-run meal is Japanese sweet potatoes. They are mashed up like this and they look disgusting, but they're really good. I promise. Very good. I have a hard time eating after my long runs, so I kind of have to force this down the hatch and it doesn't feel very great. But, you know, Japanese sweet potatoes, nice and sweet, sugary. I like eating them, so it goes down a little easier than most foods would, but it's important to get the carbohydrates in right after you run. You have to recover. I feel like this is kind of one of the non-negotiable things you should do, is just eat after your run. Some carbs. Doesn't have to be a lot. This is maybe, I don't know, 250 calories of potatoes and honey. So it's not much, but you know, my body definitely needs it, and I need to force myself to eat even though I really don't want to. But yeah. I actually prep these potatoes. So I have a hard time, you know, making all the produce that I buy, so it just goes bad. So what I do is prep them. Bang. They look disgusting in there. With that, some blocks of cheese, some burgers. That is what you get. Some nice sloppy looking potatoes. But anyways, I just feel like prepping my food makes it a lot easier, so nothing actually goes bad, and it's just, you know, put it on the plate, heat it up, and it's all ready to go. So it makes my nutrition a lot simpler and easier, which is very important for running. After I finish this, we're gonna go in the garage. I'm probably gonna foam roll, debate doing legs, and then that's kind of where I'll dive into all of the things about running and how to get better at running and improve your marathon time. So we'll get there in just a second. All right, we are going over how to improve your marathon training, how to get a better time, you know, improve day by day. So I've basically compiled the 5 simplest things I could come up with just throughout my experienced my journey so far. Not a pro runner or anything like that, obviously. So, take it as you will. But the first thing and the most important thing, I'm not going to say it at the end, I'm just going to give it to you now, because if you don't have this or do this, in my opinion, none of this other stuff matters. So, the number one thing, I even whipped out the whiteboard. A BHAG. That stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. You probably can't see that, but having a big, hairy, audacious goal is probably the most important thing that you can do to improve your marathon time, because the things that come with having a big, hairy, audacious goal are consistency, discipline, nutrition, sleep, drinking less alcohol. Because if you have this goal, it's audacious for a reason. It only happens if you do everything right that's in your control. So if you really take this goal seriously, then you will be consistent, you will be disciplined, you will take your recovery and your sleep very seriously, you will stop drinking as much alcohol, and everything will kind of start to revolve around achieving this goal. And that's a good thing, unless you don't want that. You could definitely get better at running, doing 3 or 4 days a week, doing a long run and 2 easy runs and a tempo run. You can get better doing that, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm assuming you're watching this video because you want to get better. If you want to get better, it all starts with a goal, because having a goal and a desire to achieve that goal will make all the other things a lot simpler. The number 2 thing you can do, assuming we have our big, hairy, audacious goal in mind, is going to be your aerobic base. Now, the aerobic base is stacking those days, stacking the easy miles. This is one of the most important things, because everything builds off of this. If you don't have an aerobic base, your body isn't going to be able to handle more miles and recover efficiently and effectively. And that means basically, your long runs, your long tempo runs and threshold runs aren't going to improve that much, because you have nothing to build off of, or very little to build off of. So your aerobic base, your easy miles, your easy days that you don't want to do, that suck, that are boring, you feel like there's no reason to do them, I promise you, do those. Those are one of the most important things that you can do to improve your marathon time. Definitely do not skip those. It's not going to be hard. You just literally have to go out there and do it. Whether it's 30 minutes or an hour, you need to go out there and do it. You can't skip these days, because everything else builds off of your aerobic base. And while we're on the note of the aerobic base, the other thing, number 3 thing that you can do to improve your marathon time is taking the easy days easy and taking the hard days hard but controlled. So taking the easy days easy just means that on your 6-mile runs, say your easy pace 6-mile runs, we're not taking those at a 7 or 6 minute pace. That's like a 160 heart rate. We're doing those at a pace that's comfortable, controllable, zone 2 if you want to call it that. Heart rate around 130 to 140. It's different for everybody, but it should be a conversation pace. You should absolutely not be sore after. You shouldn't feel like you just got hit by a train after. You should not even hardly be out of breath when you get back to the house or wherever you're running. They should be very easy, and there's a reason for that. It's because you're recovering from the last hard workout and you're getting ready for the next hard workout. And controlling your hard workouts is also important. The run I had this morning, I could have taken it a lot harder, and I could have absolutely done, say, instead of 3 miles at 6 flat, I could have done 3 miles at a 5:50 pace. I would have been dead after, but I could have done it. But that's not the point of it. The point is to build off of recent progress and do something you can do, but still gives you enough to build off of for the next session. So I'm not taking my hard workouts any harder than they need to be, only what's put in the plan. Because this is how you strategically build your fitness over time. We're not getting injured. We're not pushing ourselves to the point where we're literally on the floor dead after a workout. There's a time and place for those workouts, but it's not every week. It's not every speed workout, and it's not every long tempo workout like today. Today was a good controlled effort, and that's what you want. The last thing you want is to take your easy days hard and be sore going into the next tempo workout, and then you're like, oh, why was that workout so bad? It's because you weren't recovered from the last easy day that we were supposed to take easy, but you took it hard because, I get it. You get stuck in that mental, frame where you're like, well, it doesn't feel hard, and it must not be progressing if it doesn't feel hard. With running, that's not the case. I promise you that. Your hard days should feel hard still, but you just gotta take a step back, take the easy days easy, and take the hard days hard, but control them. The next thing you can do after this kind of all comes back to the big, hairy, audacious goal. If you don't have the big, hairy, audacious goal, there's no reason for this one. But step number 4 is to pay for some sort of running plan. There are plenty of good ones out there. I've never used Runna or anything like that. I mean, ChatGPT can make you one. There's a lot of options. But the one I did use for my first half marathon is called 80-20 Endurance. It's a great plan. They're tailored for beginners and for advanced and intermediate athletes, and it's based off heart rate training. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just like zone training, so each zone has a given heart rate, and it makes it a lot more scalable for them, I feel like, to sell, because you can sell it to anyone, because zone 3 is applicable to everyone but different for everyone. It's not a pace where you're saying, okay, go at a 6-minute pace for 5 minutes. Not everybody can do that, but everybody can go in zone 3 for 5 minutes. So it's a good business model for them, and it does work. I'm not bagging on them. It works. Most of the training plans out there do work, especially if you're a beginner. Make sure your plan just has 5 to 6 days, 3 of those days being easy, 1 being a long run, and 1 or 2 being a tempo run, threshold run, a VO2 max run, something like that. But it's absolutely worth it to go out there and spend $30 or $40 for a running plan, waking up knowing you have something that's kind of tailored to you that will let you progress over a long period of time, rather than you trying to learn this stuff and maybe taking it too easy or too hard and not really knowing how to improve, because there is a little bit of science behind this, unfortunately. But if you just pay for the plan, I promise you'll learn along the way, and it'll take a lot of that anxiety out of creating your own plan and thinking everything has to be perfect. It doesn't. Numero 5. The last thing I would say that you can do is just to monitor your body. All this training can take its toll physically and mentally, and there are going to be times where you have a little nagging injury where you should take a couple days off, and it will be worth it to take the day off. You have to be open to taking days off, and you're not going to progress every week, and that's fine. You have to have a long-term view of this sport, or you will not succeed. Maybe you will. But in my opinion, you should have a long-term perspective on this sport. You should want to progress slowly over 3, 4, 5 years if you really want to get that good. Because ultimately, running is great. It's great to go out there and run, a new PR in a half marathon or a full marathon. But at the end of the day, this is also about being healthy and fit and active. It's more than just about PRing a marathon. That's all great and fun, and I enjoy it a lot. But I think the more important part here is having the capability to be healthy every day, get some sunshine at 7 a.m., be up before the sun rises. And I feel like running helps you take a lot of things more serious in your life when it comes to nutrition and health and recovery, drinking less, whatever it is. So my final suggestion to you would be to monitor your body, have a very long-term outlook on this sport. Just make sure you're not getting injured, and if you feel anything, take a couple of days off. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to progress, but the injured runner is the worst runner. Not literally, but you know what I mean. You can't run, so you're pretty bad, I guess. But anyways, so those are the 5 things. This is simply based off my experience thus far. I'm not a pro runner. Maybe someday, that would be sick. But as of now, I just do it as a hobby. I very much am an advocate for health and fitness and wellness, and running just happens to be in that circle. So these are just the things that I've picked up along the way, and I hope they help. Yoink! But the other thing is I did plan on this being, a day in the life video, but I just realized that my day after I run today is not going to be that interesting. So I can either make it more interesting or just end the video here. But I think the rest of the day I'm just going to eat. I'm probably going to tan and fry like a rotisserie chicken and get skin cancer, but I'll figure that out later, and I'll deal with that later. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little tips. But I am going to probably go take a nap because yesterday worked 10 or 11 hour shift and woke up at 5 a.m. this morning to film and run, so it's been a long day, and I probably won't be able to take a nap because I just downed 16 ounces of coffee, but we'll see.